Alright guys, it's Tier List Tuesday. That's not a thing I actually do, but it could be if you guys want me to. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know if you want me to do tier lists more often. So yeah, for those who were not aware, about a week or two ago, I did an all trophies playthrough. It's Wednesday. It's Tuesday on the West Coast. I did an all trophies playthrough of Crash Bash, and it sure was an experience. I hate this game, but now I have an opinion of every single minigame because I've played all of them now. So let's go through them and decide how I feel about them. I'm gonna go through the order of how you unlock them in the actual game, not the weird ass random order we got here. So give me one sec. I'll pull up the list of minigames. Where's the list? You know, there used to be like a much more comprehensive list on fucking Crash Mania. Hi, YouTube. Everybody say hi, Mom. Okay, types of minigames. I mean, I could just go through them off of memory. Okay, so the first minigame is Crash Ball. Also, I've got 4 tiers. I've got the only good one. I'm sure you guys can figure out which one that is. Enjoyable, tolerable, and miserable. Alright. So the first minigame in Bash is Crash Ball. Honestly, I think Crash Ball's pretty tolerable. Like, it's not horrible. It's also not great. It's kind of just there. It doesn't really do anything offensive. It's not overly ridiculous or bullshit. My only real gripe with it, and this is kind of a gripe with most of the ballistics minigames, is that it just takes too long. Like, it takes forever for one round of this to end. But yeah, otherwise it's really fine. So, let's see what else. Next after that is Polar Panic. Where's Polar Panic? Alright, so I really don't like the Polar minigames as a whole. I feel like unless you're playing as Crash and Coco, they're really not fun. Especially because the AI is just infinitely better at the game than you will ever be when it comes to the Polar minigames. Polar Panic is the least offensive of the 4. I feel like it's either like bottom of tolerable or top of miserable. Like, I don't know, it's okay. I don't know, what do you guys think? This is my tier list, but I'm asking for your guys' opinion. Where's the Bash music? It'll be in the edited version on YouTube. I guess it's tolerable. I don't know. I don't know if I'd actually call any of the Polar Bear minigames to be miserable. I think they're only really miserable when you have to do, like, certain crystal and gem challenges where the AI is just cracked up. The minigames themselves are not the worst, really. Like, they're infinitely better if you're playing Crash and Coco. But, really, I guess they're not horrible. I'll give that tolerable. Alright. And then next we got Pogo Painter. Where is that? Pogo Painter is... Again, my only real gripe with Pogo Painter is just how long it is. It's just really basic. That's the thing with a lot of these Warp 1 ones, is that they're really basic. But it's really not offensive at all. It's not horrible. I guess I should factor in like the crystal minigames as well. And then all of these are, again, like, they're just pretty basic minigames, even in Crystal Challenge. Yeah, like, it's all pretty tolerable. Warp 1's really not that bad. Bash doesn't get dumb until later. I think, like, honestly, I think I like the Pogo minigames more than a lot of other people do. They're one of the minigame types I hate least in Bash. And that's just because I feel like they're among the least bullshit. That's a point in favor of Pogo Painter. Like, again, a lot of these early minigames are just not particularly impressive. Alright, and then closing out Warp 1 is Jungle Bash. I'll give this one enjoyable. The Bash minigames where you like you throw crates and stuff, if there's any selling point of Bash, it's probably these. Like, they're definitely the most attractive of all the minigames. Because it's kind of just like a 4-player brawl. Yeah. And then Jungle Bash, again, is like very basic, but at least like the concept of the minigame is a lot more interesting than the other three, I feel. Yo, Brawl's sick. What do you mean? Brawl is the second best Smash game, and I'll die on that hill. Alright. And now we move on to Warp 2, and I'm gonna change the song that you guys can't hear. Alright. Beach Ball. This is the first minigame I'm putting in miserable. Beach Ball fucking sucks. This is an awful minigame. It's not hard, but god, it is so fucking boring. This is the most boring minigame in the entirety of Bash. It is so slow. They dropped the number of points you need to score in each goal to 12. And it's still the slowest of the 4. Like, this is such a garbage minigame. It's like, so much of the rest of Bash is bad because it's bullshit. Beach Ball is just boring. And it's really slow. The crystal minigame just makes it even more boring because, like, oh, your opponent randomly has a force field. You can't score in their goals. Like, that's not creative. It's just more annoying. Like, yeah, like the balls move really slow, and then like you can launch them, and then it becomes chaotic for like 5 seconds, and then it's just like not. Yeah, no, this is a really lame minigame. It's definitely one of the worst ones. You once had a glitch where the enemy had an infinite force field? That sounds fantastic. What a great thing to experience. Alright, where's Tilt Panic? Tilt Panic is... I guess I should order these, huh? I'm gonna put Tilt Panic in Tolerable. This is, like, again, it's one of the more, like, not intrusive minigames. I'll probably put... I'll put it above Polar Panic. I'm gonna put Pogo Painter above Crash Ball. Pogo Painter I might put in Enjoyable. I'll just put it in Tolerable. Tilt Panic... I don't know, Tilt Panic's gimmick, I guess, is, like, kinda noticeable. It doesn't set itself apart too much from Polar Panic, but I guess its Crystal Challenge is pretty neat. I'll put Tilt Panic above Crash Ball. I'll put Pogo Painter and Tilt Panic I'll think about. These are both like pretty borderline between tolerable and enjoyable, I feel. Alright, next up is Pogo A Go-Go. Pogo A Go-Go gets like really high enjoyable just because of how easy it is to cheese. Pogo A Go-Go is just a funny level to do because you just sit in the corner and you just make squares of 4 constantly, and it's so fucking easy. It's probably the easiest minigame in the entire game. Yeah, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And I love that about Pogo Go-Go. It's a minigame with a cool concept that's just so easy to abuse. And that alone just makes me like it more than most of the rest of the game. I don't really feel like there's much else to say about Pogo Go-Go. It's just really easy to abuse. Alright. Next we got Space Bash. This is the only good minigame in Bash. If there was anything that would make me want to play Bash, it's Space Bash. Like, it's the coolest minigame type. It's the most interesting one because it's a crate smash minigame. And it's got the coolest fucking gimmick where the floor breaks when something explodes over it. Like, I think this is like a unanimous opinion that this is the best minigame in Bash. I don't think anybody's I don't know if I've ever heard anybody disagree with that. And then like the Crystal Challenge is also like a really well-liked one because it's a unique take on it. Like, just the fact that you can't throw and everything's explosive. It's such a chaotic and fun minigame. And it is like genuinely the only reason to play Bash. It's so good. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement on that one. It's like Space Bash is just great. All right, what was it? Desert Fox. Desert Fox is like... Honestly, I don't mind it. I'd probably give Desert Fox enjoyable. Again, it's a pretty basic tank minigame. I don't know. Maybe it's tolerable. I've never hated the tank minigames. Although I also acknowledge they're kind of just dumb. Like, you kind of just get cornered and then you just get screwed over. Like, I don't really think there's a huge amount of skill to them. It's kind of just like don't get into a corner. I feel like I really should hate them more than I do. I don't know, I'm conflicted on Desert Fox. I don't mind it. Yo, Jamie. Where are the boss levels? They aren't in here. It's just the 4-player minigames. Yeah, I don't know. How do I really feel about specifically Desert Fox? Let me. I think because even though I enjoy it, I can acknowledge that it's a really stupid minigame, and it's like I'll put it below Pogo Painter, and you know I'll put it below Tilt Panic. I think I like it more than Crash Ball though. Just again, Crash Ball just moves so slowly. I'm gonna put Crash Ball. I don't know. This is probably fine. All right. All right, so next up is Embolism. This is gonna be a hot take. I feel like this is gonna be a hot take. I don't hate Endelism. I actually find it to be one of the more enjoyable ball minigames. I actually, like, low-key really like how chaotic it is. And honestly, a huge part of this is because I'm not bad at it. Like the handful of times I've played Bash, I don't get screwed over by Endelism all that much. Like, I get that this is a hot take. I hated Endelism as a kid. Yeah, I don't know. I like Endelism. It's kind of fun. I also feel like there's actually a lot of strategy to Endelism. Like, a lot of, like, very... Yeah, no. I thought people were gonna, like, flame me alive for this. I thought people were gonna despise me for putting Endelism this high. But apparently everybody in chat agrees with me except for Violin. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I like that you can semi-predict where the force fields are gonna be. I like that Engines follows a pattern. So like you can kind of anticipate that also. I don't know. I think Endelism's kind of enjoyable, just because of how freaking chaotic it is. I don't know, dude. I just keep splashing soda on my freaking. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was gonna be a hot take, but everybody in chat agrees with me except for Violin, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how YouTube feels. YouTube, tell me in the comments how you feel about Endelism. Am I stupid for liking this minigame? All right. Next up is Melt Panic. Melt Panic might actually be my least favorite of... It might be my least favorite of the Polar minigames. If anything, just because... I think the thing I really don't like about Melt Panic is that in the other 3 Polar minigames, you got that weird, like, camera thing that gives you the power-ups, and there's, like, the chance that... you know, there's a chance it's a positive, there's a chance it's a negative. With Melt Panic, for one, Uka Uka doesn't randomly fly around. He just, when he wants to, like, drop something on somebody, he just singles them out. So you can't avoid Uka Uka. And whenever Uka Uka targets a player, it's always negative. So it's just like, Melt Panic feels extra dumb because of that. Because, like, you'll just get randomly screwed over by Uka Uka. And I think that's why I don't like it as much as the other 3 Polar minigames. I don't dislike it enough to put it in miserable, but it's definitely on the lower end of tolerable. Yeah, like the freeze and the snowball. Like, if you just get hit by those, yeah. There's 2 power-ups that do that. It's not like just the lightning. There is the freeze and the snowball. And I think you can also still get the weight. Like, everything Uka Uka does to you is just... It's a punishment. And you can't avoid it. Like, you can't choose to not go to Uka Uka. He will just track you down. So yeah, no. It's, like, not enough to be down and miserable, I feel. But it's, like... Alright, so next up is El Pogo Loco. I definitely don't like this as much as Pogo Pander. El Pogo Loco is really annoying. Like, I'm so mixed on El Pogo Loco. There are things about it that I like. I like that it keeps the, if you make a square, it fills in the center thing from Pogo Go-Go. I like that there's a 4-way arrow crate. I think that's really cool. I wish it was in more of them. I don't like how Riparoo can just trap you and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know. It feels more garbage because of that. It's an interesting gimmick, and I don't think it's a horrible one, but I don't think it's a particularly great one. I don't know. I'm very mixed on Pogo Loco. Pogo Loco is probably the one I'm most mixed on. I feel like parts of it... No, actually, I would say I agree with the crystal in Pogo Loco not being good. Because, again, back to the situations where... No, I'm not factoring in relics. I'm mostly thinking on the minigame as like a trophy. I'll factor in crystals a little bit. Thinking on the crystal challenge in Pogo Loco, going back to my point of Riparoo can just randomly screw you over with the TNTs, and depending on how he places them, you just can't get away from them. That's a big problem in the crystal challenge, because you can just lose just because Riparoo decides it, and I think that's stupid. But nah, no, I would say I don't consider the crystal challenge in Pogo Loco fine. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I think it's to always be on the other side of the map. Yeah, let me just do that. Let me just keep track of Riparoo at all times and hope he doesn't just do one of those like map-wide crosses that he does, you know, all the time. It does get bonus points because I don't mind Pogo levels in general. I'll put it like somewhere here. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's fine. Snowbash. Snowbash is kind of just there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Snowbash is as fun as Jungle Bash, just because, like, the penguin gimmick is pretty dumb. Like, it's super powerful and takes up way too much space, where like, I actually feel like the ideal strategy is just to constantly do the, just constantly attack the penguin. The slippery floor makes it hard to control yourself. I don't know. I just don't think Snowbash is that great. Snowbash is... It's on the lower half of the 4. I'll probably put it... It's still a Bash minigame, so it's like not the worst. But it's definitely... I'll put it here. Probably better than Desert Fox. This is like really rough order. The thing of losing when you go in the same spot again is so frustrating. I like that about Pogo Padlock, but we'll get to that later. What else? Metal Fox. Metal Fox is a weird one. I like that Metal Fox... I like the changing arena. I think that makes it a bit less... less a case of how Desert Fox you kind of just get trapped. I will say though that the bomb in Metal Fox is kind of like dummy overpowered. And I feel like that kind of just decides things whether or not you get a bomb. I probably like it more than Desert Fox. I honestly probably like it more than Snow Bash. I'll put it like kind of in the same spot. I kind of feel about Metal Fox about the same as I feel Desert Fox. They're both like, they're both alright. Alright, Dot Dash. I don't know. Dot Dash is, if it's intolerable, it's on the really low side of tolerable. I almost want to put it in miserable because I think this minigame concept as a whole is just really fucking lame. It's so boring. You press R1 and you constantly turn right. It's just clockwise. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even want to give it tolerable. It's tolerable just because it's not hard, but it's not fun. It is genuinely just not fun. Like, you hold a button. Okay, I still got the input display. This is what you do when you play Dot Dash. You hold R1 and you do this. That's all you fucking do in Dot Dash. Oh, and then what's the turbo buttons? Circle, square? You do this. You do this. This is Dot Dash. This is every Dash minigame. There's fucking nothing to this. It's not fun. It's boring. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm putting Dot Dash in miserable. I don't care if it's not bullshit. It's just not fun. It's the same as Beach Ball. It's not stupid, but it's just boring. It's lame. Also, like, if you don't understand how tank controls work, it's actually really garbage control. Like, it's tank controls. But it's like the point of view is so disorienting. I don't know. I just that's probably consistently the worst minigame type, is just the dashes. Alright, and that brings us on to Warp 4, Skyballs. That's not hard. Skyballs is horrible. I don't know. I don't know which one I hate more. I don't know if I hate Beach Ball more because it's so boring, if I hate Skyballs because it's just so garbage. I think I'll put Skyballs below Beach Ball, just because Beach Ball, if anything, is not hard, and it has one hell of a vibe in its song. Skyballs is really long, really obnoxious, really bullshit. It's really telling that in all trophies, you only get the trophy in Skyballs, because everything else is just garbage. Beach Ball is mega boring, I will give it that. Like, it's a toss-up as to which one of these is worse. It's like, do you want to tolerate being, like, it's so boring, or do you want to just deal with the nonsense of Skyballs? And honestly, Skyballs very much feels like you're just gonna lose because the game feels like it. I don't know. Yeah, no. There's no question, though. Skyballs is just bad. Alright. What's next? Manic Panic. Honestly, I kind of like the gimmick in Manic Panic. I like being able to bomb people. The bomb is, like, super overpowered, but it's also, like, it's kind of fun. It's probably, honestly, my favorite of the panics. It's either this or Tilt. Bomb push combo OP, that is true. I think I like Manic Panic more, if anything, just because having an option to kill that's not like, you know, force your opponent off the stage and pray that they can't make it back. I kind of like that. The bomb is like a huge advantage for sure. But I definitely don't think it's a bad mini. I honestly might even put this in enjoyable. I actually don't mind Manic Panic. I don't know. I'll keep it in the upper end of tolerable. Kind of just there. All right, Pogo Padlock. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Pogo Padlock's my favorite Pogo minigame. There's so much about Padlock that I think is actually pretty neat. The song is great. But going back to the whole, it was mentioned how you can stand, like if you land on your own square, it erases everything. It's like you have to avoid that. I actually really like that. I like that you have to be smart about where you land on the squares. And you have to make a choice between, do you want to, you know, lock your squares with the padlock so nobody can take them and you can't lose them? Or do you want to go fast with the speed shoes? I like that the missiles have the ability to steal squares from other players. I think that gives the missiles way more utility than they do in any other minigame. The crystal is hell. I will acknowledge the crystal is hell, but I'm just looking at the minigames as a whole. I'm not gonna put too much weight in how the crystals are, because like outside of Space Bash Crystal, most of them suck anyway. Like I just think Padlock does so many cool things that none of the other Pogo minigames do. Yeah, Sly, thanks. Yeah, so no, like I'm actually pretty fond of Pogo Padlock. I think it's a really cool minigame. I almost honestly wanted to like say the only good two. I'm very fond of Pogo Padlock. I just think there's a lot more strategy to going on in Padlock than any of the other things. All right, moving on to Drain Bash. I used to really like Drain Bash as a kid, but then again, hold on. I also used to really like Bash as a kid, so you know, I had bad opinions. I feel like as the more I play Drain Bash, the less I like it. My biggest issue with Drain Bash is that it is very imbalanced in terms of like damage output. You basically have to fish for power-ups or pray that TNTs spawn to do any real damage. The basic crates don't do shit. Like they're so weak. And like every time I play Drain Bash, I feel like I'm just praying that either TNTs spawn, which conveniently they never do, or I'm just praying that I get the power up. I feel like there's too much randomness to Drain Bash to be fun. Honestly, Drain Bash might be my least favorite of the four because of that. Also, congrats on the 200% PV Sly. Yeah, I really just don't care for Drain Bash. Oh, and then like when it comes to the power-ups, also like the only one that's reliable is the ring. Like the 8-way missile and the homing orbs like are dummy strong when they hit, but like they just, I feel like they have such a high penchant to miss. Yeah, Drain Bash is just too reliant on randomness to do well in, I feel. Yeah, it's still a Bash minigame. So, like a crate smash minigame, so like that gives it an edge where it's like the concept of the minigame is fun enough that it saves itself. But I just don't think it's particularly, yeah, like just the minimal damage on the base crates, relying on like overpowered power-ups to do anything significant. Yeah, that would be too easy, Dylan. Gotta make the tier list kind of interesting. Yeah, no, I definitely think Drain Bash is the least good of all of those. Alright, so next up we got Jungle Fox. I'm might surprise some people with this, but Jungle Fox is actually probably my favorite of the tank minigames, solely because you have so much freedom to move. Like, the freedom to move in Jungle Fox, that by itself makes me like it so much more than Desert and Metal. Like, it's easier to escape from things. The only thing I really dislike about Jungle Fox, for one, again, the missiles are really like overpowered in the same sense as the bombs. But also, like, the totem is absurdly powerful. Like, the totem is kind of just there, like, okay, this is taking a little too long. Let's just fucking murder somebody. The totem hitbox is ridiculous. That's really the only thing I don't like about Jungle Fox. But, like, the freedom of movement does a lot of favors for it. I still don't love it. But I'd probably... It's, like, right there. This is, like, not a good indicator, because it looks like I just... Like, yeah, this is all just fine, like, whatever. It's like, I would say I like Jungle Fox a fair bit better than Metal and Desert. But, I don't know. Let's just put, like, Crash Ball there. Yeah, could probably put El Pogo here also. Yeah, that seems about fine. Something like that? I don't know. It doesn't really matter in order too much in tiers. Alright, we got 2 more levels in Warp 4. Next up is Toxic Dash. Yeah, I don't have a Toxic Dash song on this playlist. Toxic Dash is a fucking dash minigame. It already goes down here. Toxic Dash, I actually hate this more than a dot dash. Whoever invented the force field, I hope they got fired. Like, actually, the force field is so garbage. It's so dumb where you just get sent flying because why the fuck not? And then the fucking barrels get in the way, and then the fucking orb glob toxic things get in the way. It's just dot dash, and it's still boring as fuck, and it's still just garbage. Like, it's just a worse dot dash. Yeah. That's an easy hell no. They're called Goopy Boys. Okay, that makes it a little better. Yeah, Goopy Boys. It's Toxic Dash is still. All right, well, and then we got Ring Ding. Fuck Ring Ding. I genuinely hate Ring Ding more than Skyballs. Ring Ding is boring as fuck. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. But like, Ring Ding is awful. How do I even describe Ring Ding? Like, actually. Like, the depth perception in Ring Ding is terrible. Like, if you're not staring at the shadows of the balloons, you're gonna have a bad time. The depth perception is horrible. The vacuum is the only way it becomes kind of enjoyable, but then you just get targeted by people, so you can't keep it forever. The black balloon is too much of a game changer. Like, especially when it just changes everything to your color. That's so absurdly good. Changing the direction of the ring is useless. The boots that let you move in any direction freely is useless. I don't know, like, Ring Ding I think has a lot of the problems with Drain Bash, where it's too reliant on things being random. But it's also just absurdly boring and really, really slow because it's a timed minigame. Like, it's a point-based minigame, so you have to wait for the timer to run out. It's just not fun. It's so boring. It's so boring. It's honestly probably, like, I said earlier that Beach Ball was probably the most boring. I was wrong. I forgot that Ring Ding is this. Ring Ding is the most boring minigame in Bash. It's like, yeah, no, it's so garbage. And now we got the last 6 ones, the ones from Warp 5. And we start with Dodge Dash. Or not Dodge Dash, Splash Dash. fuck Splash Dash. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna close chat for a second. That's all that needs to be said. That's all that needs to be said. Everything about Splash Dash is horrible. It's so much more sluggish than all of the other Dash minigames, which are already bad. The way you can get pushed off by the pushers, I know there's like a semi-pattern to them, but like good luck knowing that unless you're like a super diehard Bash player. The trophy is miserable. The trophy's miserable. Like, yeah, I spent a fucking hour, over an hour in that minigame, and a lot of that was the gem and the relic, but the trophy was also miserable. There are so many lap glitches in Splash Dash. Like, that's just a really dumb element of RNG because that's not even intentional. That's just the programming of the game being bad. Splash Dash is super garbage. Like, straight up, Splash Dash isn't just, in my opinion, the worst minigame in Bash. It is one of the worst things I've experienced in the entire Crash series. Like, genuinely. Like, I cannot think of much that I've experienced that is worse than Splash Dash. Maybe Boom Bang. But even then, if Splash Dash was like the only thing in Bash, I would say it is Boom Bang levels of terrible. Like, God, fuck Splash Dash. I could go on a tirade forever about how awful Splash Dash is. Fuck this level. I never want to play it ever again. And yeah, as someone mentioned like a few minutes ago in the chat, or like a minute ago, it is the only, in that entire route I did for all trophies, it is the only relic that I gave up on. Because it was just not worth it. It's so horrible. I hate everything about Splash Dash and I never want to play it again. Yeah. Imagine, Splash Dash made me more miserable than Coral Canyon. And Coral Canyon got its own tier when I did the level tier list for the main series. So, fuck Splash Dash. Alright. Next was Drag and Drop. Drag and Drop's actually pretty fun. I'm just putting Intolerable there. I actually think it's enjoyable. Yeah, I don't know. Drag and Drop's a pretty... It's fine. Like, once you know, like, the strats to, like, you know, always go for 5s and shoot from the corner and stuff, it's really not a bad minigame. It can be, like, a little annoying. I definitely think it's, like, on the bottom end of enjoyable. But out of all the Warp 5 minigames, it's probably the best one. Yeah. I'm pretty content with putting it there. Yeah, I don't know. I really feel like there's not too much to say about Drag and Drop. It's a pretty straightforward minigame, but it's not bland, I feel, like most of Tolerable. Like, most of Tolerable is either bland or has high highs, low lows. Drag and Drop's just decently fun. Yeah, no, I would say Drag and Drop deserves to be bottom end of enjoyable. I think the other 4 above it are a lot more fun, for sure. But it's definitely a tier above everything below it. And then after Drag and Drop is Mallet Mash. I don't think I'd say Mallet Mash is miserable. It's kind of, it's not below Drain Bash either. I don't know. Mallet Mash is kind of just there. I don't know. Mallet Mash is, I think Mallet Mash, and then also Kekaboom is after that. Oh, Kekaboom Keg-a-boom is like second to last, but I'll just do it. Mallet Mash and Keg-a-boom, I kind of just feel the same way about both. They're kind of like, they're just okay. They don't really have anything really wrong with them. They don't have anything that I think is like really impressive either. I'd probably say Mallet Mash and Keg-a-boom are about the same tier as Crash Ball. Like this range, where like there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't think they're really impressive. I will say I was mad confused on how to do Keg-a-boom. Granted, I was like super dead by that point, by the time I got to Keg-a-boom, but I felt like I feel like Keg-a-boom was the least intuitive of the 28 minigames in terms of understanding what you were supposed to do. And I think that docks some points compared to Mallet Mash, but once you know what you're doing, it's fine. Alright. Swamp Fox. Who the fuck came up with the way you control this minigame? Like, genuinely, who the fuck thought of it? I'm literally flabbergasted by whoever decided that instead of making Swamp Fox control like the other 3 tank minigames, we're just gonna make it control like Dot Dash. I want to know who thought of that, because they're an idiot. I honestly feel like Swamp Fox maybe could have been fun if that wasn't the case. But it just controls like absolute trash. Like, Swamp Fox is honestly almost Splash Dash tier, but it didn't really reach that level for me. It kind of just was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna do things and pray it works. But it tends to work. Yeah, oh, also, the force field doesn't do shit. It protects you for like a frame. Like, who thought this was a good idea? If Swamp Fox controlled like the other 3 tank minigames, I'd probably put it about in the same range as Jungle Fox. But the controls are so awful. Like, that just brings it down to be the second worst minigame in Bash. Like, yeah, no, Swamp Fox is just awful. Like, I feel like I don't need to really elaborate too much on this. Oh yeah, and this is like the one minigame where Dingo and Riparoo having like 2 shots is like really busted. Like, yeah. I don't know, should I put Swamp Fox in here and just do Swamp Fox and Splash Dash? That's not gonna work. Nah, I think Swamp Fox didn't quite reach Splash Dash levels of bad for me. It's almost there, but Splash Dash was just like extra levels of horrible. And we got Dante's Dash. Anticlimactic. It's better than Toxic Dash. It's not as good. It's not as unbad as Dot Dash. Man, I don't fucking know. All of the Dash minigames suck dick. Dante's Dash is literally just Dot Dash, but like things fly out. It's the same fucking thing, dude. It's this. You hold R1 and you do this, and sometimes you press this. This is all of the Dash minigames, except for Splash Dash, where you cry. Splash Dash is just death. This is what I think about Splash Dash. But yeah, so I guess that is the Bash tier list. A lot more tolerable minigames than I thought there would be. Definitely got a fair share of miserables, though. I'm gonna do a quick glance over. Would I put any of the tolerable ones in miserable? No, not really. I'd say these are all pretty par for the course. I would say order doesn't really matter too much for tolerable. Order doesn't really matter much for tolerable. This means all trophies tomorrow, right? No. I would say the rest of them are pretty ordered, but tolerable order doesn't really matter that much. They're all these are the minigames that are just kind of there. These are the minigames that made me want to gouge my eyes out. This is the minigame that made me actually want to die like 3 times. Like die, get resurrected, die again, get resurrected, die again. You know, when technology reaches that far, like these are the ones I can derive some joy out of, and Space Bash is literally the only reason to play Bash ever. How was Crash 4 runs? I'm already over 90%. I'm gonna probably try and do ACG. Which I might actually do next. I might do a little bit of like just de-rusting ACG. Not a whole run, but like a hub. But yeah. This is the Bash tier list. I don't want to play this game ever again. It's bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody who likes Bash. I think it fucking sucks. If you want a remake of Bash, why? Yeah. But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the people who subbed to make this sub goal happen. If you like the videos, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. All really helps the channel. If you guys want to see me do more tier lists for Crash or even for anything, I'm down. Tier lists are fun. I like talking about stuff and ranking them. I guess that's kind of weird, but you know. But yeah, until the next tier list or the next video, I will see you guys next time. Say hi to YouTube, guys. I'm not actually saying bye to the stream. I'm saying bye to YouTube. Bye, YouTube.